Hi, my Pisces collective. So I am here with your message for January 2025. All right. So we're going to start off with the first two cards, which are significator cards. It's kind of like for you to know what's up for the month of January in 2025. Now, I combined another deck on here. So now we have the before, the after, and the middle tarot, everything in between. So the first card I'm going to be pulling out is for January 13th, where we have a full moon in the sign of Cancer. Now, mind you, this is kind of like revealing secrets, revealing things that you were not able to see before. And so let's see how that will affect you. Ooh. Then we have the new moon in the sign of Aquarius on the 29th. This is kind of like the commencement of that new world reality that you will be stepping into. And then in between all of this, on January 6th, I'm going to make sure I have the dates right. January 6th all the way till February 23rd, we have Mars retrograde in the sign of Cancer. How will this affect you? Well, it's kind of made to kind of freeze you up, put you in a standstill. I keep seeing this sigil, this Isa, which is a rune of the ice, which is a standstill and freezing, due to your emotions. So your emotions are going to be up in the air. You're not sure about yes or no or what in between, and so you're just going to be stuck for a little bit. Okay, and again, that's from January 6th all the way to um, February 23rd. Okay, now what you're not seeing clearly, what you're kind of distorted about. Wow, I got four cards flew out on that. So I'm going to leave that out there because four cards fell in my hand. So I'm going to go for that's a thing. And then what you are seeing correctly. I flipped over and sat in there. And how the overall month of January is going to end up for you. How is January going to end up for them? All right. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to randomly pick one card, which if it's a major arcana, then it's a secret that can help you with the month. If it's not a major arcana, it's just extra information about the energy. Okay. So significator cards. This is like something you got to know about the month of January 2025. The first thing is we have is the key success, successfully overcoming a problem. Okay, keys to success when I saw that. The second thing is bird flying, news on its way. But you know what I felt when I saw that? Not news on its way, but a free bird. You're feeling like a free bird, like releasing yourself from something, especially since you're getting a keys to release yourself from something. Okay. Um, so that being said, the first thing we're going to see is about this full moon in the 13th of January, which is secrets being revealed. And we have the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is kind of like what I'm feeling from that is actually you're glowing up. Like people are starting to notice you more. People are starting to notice what you have to offer, the power that you have within yourself, Pisces, the abilities that you have to bring forth clarity, insight, knowledge. So I'm feeling like this energy is not so much a secret being revealed to you, except you, the hidden gem, the hidden secret of the world being revealed to the world. Okay, so I feel like a glow up is happening, and this is going to be triggered because of that full moon. What's going to happen for your new beginning into that new world that you're walking into when it's the 29th of January and we're having that new moon in Aquarius? Well, we're having this energy of the of Swords. Six of Swords is deciding to move into, this is the after tarot, so you're actually in this new land. You've shifted your vibration into this new frequency, into this new dimension, into this new reality, one where you are in the element of power, of authority, of strength. um, I have my fingers colored because I do a lot of alchemy work, and I use an ink pen, and it the ink fell on my finger. I guess I needed to tell that to somebody. Now, that retrograde. Remember how I told you that your emotions are going to be kind of up in the air, and it's going to keep you in like a little Esau energy or a standstill? I actually am getting, and again, this is from January 6th to February 23rd. We have the moon card. So that tells me this energy of like walking into the dark, insecurities, unsure of how things are going to unfold. And this makes a lot of sense, especially since we're seeing you kind of birthing your new existence, coming into your new reality, becoming the person that you're meant to be, starting the first couple of weeks of January, and in that energy of the Queens of Wands. When we start becoming our authentic self, when we start showing the world who we really are, there is this sense of insecurity for a little bit, because you will receive some backlash. You will receive like people not liking the new you because they're used to the old you. They received a benefit from that old you, so they will want you to go back into place. So there's going to be a lot of unforeseen things that are going to be unfolding due to this shift, and this retrograde. You will see a lot of things. I feel like your emotions are going to kind of be, I keep hearing like, when the that dead air sound, the I feel like your emotions are going to be like that. It's like no up, no down. You're just kind of like, what the hell's going on? That's what I feel is going to happen, because I feel like when you start glowing up and being the person that you're supposed to be, Pisces, um, you're going to notice a lot of turbulent waters around you, which is the reason why by the end of the month you're now moving into a new land, something that's not so turbulent. But going through the sea is what I'm feeling the entire month of January will be, where you're going to be hitting a lot of turbulent waters, and you're going to start, like I heard dándote cuenta, which is in Spanish saying, taking notice about the people, places, and things that have literally facilitated your life to be the way it was up to now, right? So that would be like, you thought you had a really good friend that supported you, but you didn't. Now you realize how much they really weren't supporting you, and how much they like planted insecurities inside of you that were limiting you. That you're going to be noticing things that you've been doing that has actually been holding you back. So it's kind of like persons, places, and things. I don't want you just to focus on a person. Remember, everything around us is a mirror of ourselves. So they're just projecting to us what we believe about ourselves, so that we can either accept it, heal, or fight against it, and say, no, that's not true, and work with ourselves so that we can prosper around it. So I want you to keep that in mind, especially since I see the month, how the month's going to end up, which we can go to that right now, since the 29th is kind of linked to it. And we have the before tarot, which is the Three of Swords. That tells me, the this is why I'm telling you, like, when it comes to your emotions, I don't feel like the impact of what is happening to you right now is going to really sink in until after this retrograde, Mars retrograde in Cancer, which would be February 23rd, right? And the reason why I'm saying is because this is the before tarot, and it's like the 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 daggers haven't plunged into the heart yet, and so it's kind of like you're just processing and like very confused about what's happening, because you're like, all I wanted was, I don't know, to lose weight, or all I wanted was to get out of this job, or all I wanted was to get an education, or all I wanted was to be somebody different. All I wanted was to heal this wound that I had. So I decided to go to counseling, things like that. Like, you just, in your head, you're like, I don't understand why this is such a big problem. It's just a little minute thing for myself. It's not affecting anyone else, person, place, and thing, or energy. It's all about me. So why is this a big problem again? And so I'm feeling that energy in you all the way till February. And then it's going to sink in. Okay. Because see, what you are seeing correctly is the Ten of Swords, and what you're seeing correctly is the death of the old you. Okay. Be mindful that, spiritually speaking, and I felt this myself personally, when you start, a version of you starts dying, you feel that sadness for it. You go through mourning, so it's very possible that you're starting to feel emotionally or sad for no apparent reason. You're thinking, am I psycho, or my hormones out of whack, or what the hell's going on? It's because, like, there's an inner knowing in your spirit that something is coming to an end. All right. And so you are very, in the entire month, I feel like it started in December, actually, because I'm hearing December. From December to January, I feel like there's a very big clarity that things will never be the same. I just feel like you don't realize how good this is going to be for you, but it is going to bring some sadness. Now, what you don't see correctly is these four cards. The first thing that you don't see correctly is you've been investing in things that have been taking away your happiness. Okay. So this is um, spending money on things that actually hurt you instead of helping you, that are actually a negative habit. Spending time with people that might be hurting you, wasting energy on, I don't know, podcasts or things that actually bring you into a lower frequency than a higher. All of us know, or a spiritual practice that is making you less than what you really are. You would know. But there is something distorted here in what you've been investing in. The second thing is you don't realize how many people are looking at what you're manifesting. The bad thing about lookers, so one of the biggest, I want to say, tricks of spirituality or of magic is to keep it to yourself. When you are pushing forth a will decision inside of yourself that will change your reality or your I want to say surroundings, as soon as you tell another person, it doesn't matter if it's your partner, it doesn't matter if it's your animal, whatever, um, they are now injecting their energy and their force and their intentions behind what you just said. If they have wounding, if they're unsure, if they're insecure of change, things like that, because we all have things that we need to heal. Unintentionally, they can put forth effort to block what you're trying to create. And this is when we start feeling a lot of turbulent waters. And sometimes intentionally, they will put forth an energy of envy, greed, lust. It doesn't wrath. It doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter if it's intentional or unintentional. If you avoid letting others see, hear, or know what it is that you're pushing forth in effort to create, then you will block that energy from interfering what you're trying to create. But right here, it looks like you don't know how many people are actually looking on to everything you're creating. All right. And I heard you have a media presence. So probably in Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, it doesn't matter what it is, what media you use, but that's being looked at, and it's being used to interpret what it is that you're trying to do to create your life. So like, be mindful of who you're connecting to. I mean, honestly, my Facebook personal, not the one for my business, but my personal one, I legit only have like 30 people on there, and it's just immediate family and 1 to 2 people extra. And it's because I don't want to create cords and connections to people, places, and things that I know I don't need moving forward. Okay? Especially if I know the person is a different vibration as my own. Thirdly, death. Um, So I know that that end is coming, right? There's an end of you coming, but I don't feel like you understand to what degree this will be implemented and affecting your life, because we do have the 3 of Swords, and the swords are not stabbing the heart yet. So I feel like you're grasping how things are kind of weird, people are kind of weird, situations are like, you're like, what the hell is wrong with people? But you're not grasping as to what extent this will be influencing your life. Okay. And then the last thing is the King of Pentacles. And you don't also grasp correctly on how this will impact your material world, not so much in your finances. I mean, I'm feeling finances too, but also in the way you want to connect with other people. See, when I was growing up, my parents used to tell me this thing all the time, which is "Dime con quién anda y te diré quién eres," and it's like, tell me who you walk with, and I will tell you who you are. And when you start coming into existence to the person that you're meant to be, right? The energy you're supposed to be having, the material wealth that you're supposed to have, and the things that you're supposed to grow upon, right? When you start acquiring that, like, certain friends just don't make sense anymore, and they don't feel like friends anymore. Certain affiliations you don't want to hang out with anymore, and then you start getting to the point where you're not even sure why you've hanged out with this person, place, thing, energy for as long as you have. That's part of it. And that's why I'm telling you that the death is what I don't think you grasp, because this will not just affect, oh, I'm losing a friend, or I'm going to stop, I'm going to ghost my family or whatever. It's not that. It's like everything, even the way the foods you like to eat, even the music you like to hear, everything will be affected because of the fact that that version of you is dying. Okay. Now let's see the, okay. And then see, you just get the Knight of Pentacles. So, and Knight of Pentacles for me, it's the first seed that you are planting to create that new reality for yourself. It's a long process. Give yourself loving grace. Don't go too fast, because I've noticed, especially in my spiritual practice, that people that try to do shortcuts via um, drugs or any kind of spiritual tincture that they might take so they can awaken their spiritual third eye, or anything that they do physically that is too fast for them to continue the process. Like, if you don't want to go spiritual and you want to go physical, like all those people that go into that crazy um like diets to lose a whole mess of weight. Yeah, they lose a whole mess of weight in about a month, but then they can't sustain themselves with this, right? I had a person that I knew that, to get rid of diabetes, went into this extreme diet that made the person look extremely thin first, and secondly, they started losing color, and actually it started affecting their metabolic rate, and their doctor actually told them, we need you to start eating. And so I'm like, sometimes extremes aren't good. And so go and you do extremes when you want things to happen quicker than they should. So give yourself a lot of loving patience. I can tell you for personal experience, um, to get to where I'm at right now was a 15-year process. All right. And where I want to be, I know it's 1,000 more years. Like, I know I am constantly going to be evolving and changing and growing and being somebody different, because um, I never just end a goal in the one thing. I always look for the next thing, and I keep growing that way. Um, and I feel like that's what you don't expect also. It's like, it's not one and you're done. It's one, wow, this was awesome. Now I kind of feel like going like this. And that reminds me of like a podcast that I actually heard from um, of Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he said that he had his ultimate goal, but then he didn't stop just there, because once he reached that goal, he's like, I wonder how it would be like making comedy movies instead of just action movies. I wonder what it would be like to be in politics, when and his goals kept expanding. And so I think that's something that you have to keep in mind. This isn't like one soul death and you're done. I think I've gone through at least 5 or 6 myself so far. And so I feel like, just know that this is a process that will continue to grow and expand, and you have a long way to go, but it's going to be an amazing ride. I hope this helps you, Pisces, and we'll see you the next time.